planet has warmed and cooled from time to time over and over again through a process that happened billions of years ago. But recently, humanity has shifted that change, and where the process has occurred faster than it has before because of burning fossil fuels and greenhouse effect. The current climate change in today's world is not normal as it has been the past several years. The increase in temperature has risen dramatically since the last change in climate change, since the last ice age. And it has all been modified by the human race and their innovations throughout the past centuries. According to NASA, global warming has occurred at a much rapid pace because of the greenhouse gases and the increase of population and the use of driving, which burns fossil fuels. In addition, global warming has dire consequences, and it only affects the planet, but as us as well, since we are inhabitants of this planet. But most importantly, there are solutions we can take, but it all depends whether the human race wants to take actions to help prevent global warming from occurring. So what is global warming? According to NASA's Earth Observatory, they define global warming as a rapid increase in Earth's surface temperature by greenhouse gases released to the atmosphere by people burning fossil fuel. And some problems that are caused by global warming are two main problems: the increase of temperature that changes weather pattern all over the world, specifically rainfall, but not as well just rainfall. It also includes other types of weather, like the increase of hot air, hotter days, droughts, even tornadoes possibly. And according to NASA studies project warming-driven changes in global rainfall, in countries where rain falls, there will be no rain, and where it does not rain, rain will fall. Meaning that because global warming has been occurring since the late 1800s, the shift in increased temperature has affected the weather pattern, and as we can see, like during our the past couple of years, the temperature has changed. There are more hotter days, more severe heat waves, as well as less rain. And NASA also concludes that if the release of CO2 into the atmosphere continues, the temperature will continue to increase by 2 to 6 degrees by the end of this century. And this is really bad because the temperature has never increased this dramatically during the past several centuries. And within the start of the Industrial Revolution, temperature has been increasing by 0.7%, which is 10 times faster than it was before in its natural phase. And the second problem is the melting of ice caps and glaciers, which cause 3 effects into the planet, which is the rise of sea level, ecosystems, and coastal erosions. The rise in sea level is one of the biggest and most impacted things that can happen in the world today, because as we already know, the ocean covers about 70% of the planet, and the increase in that will affect the coastal regions and where people live. And this affects them because some people live next to cliffs, and that causes waves will grow, continue hitting the cliffs, which will erode and will affect the people, causing floods, maybe even death in the possible future, as well as, most importantly, the effect of the melting ice caps and glaciers are the ecosystems in particularly. You can see that recently in recently in the news, they have been mentioning some animals being endangered, and one of these animals are the polar bear, as well as penguins. And that is why we should take great concern for global warming. Some causes, there's two main causes, but in reality it's one. It's human beings is burning fossil fuels, and the second is the industrial revolution that started manufacturing of goods which caused the production of CO2 and greenhouse effects. And here I just put the picture of the greenhouse effects so you can see the functions of the greenhouse effects. As you can see, the sun emits solar energy, which shines down to the earth, that goes into the atmosphere. Some energy is reflected back into space, and the things that reflect that solar energy back are ice, snow, and the clouds, and so forth. Solutions. In particularly, the governments all over the world have been working together to cut the emissions of greenhouse effects and other greenhouse emissions into the atmosphere. And this has been taking process throughout the centuries. And according to the National Geographic and Natural Resource Defense Council, NRDC, there are numerous ways we can help prevent global warming from continuing. And some of these solutions are listed here. Some options are solar energy and wind energy, which is biofuels, drive smarter cars, green homes and buildings, as well as hydrogen. Solar energy and wind energy are most importantly being now focused and used within our communities because it's a cleaner energy, which is more efficient and helps produce cleaner air, as well as stop pollution and the emission of CO2 into our atmosphere. And biofuels, for some of you that may not know, are crop fuel, which can also be used to burn off in cars instead of gasoline. Another option is just driving smarter cars, meaning changing your car options. Maybe instead of having a gas guzzling SUV, you can change to a hybrid, maybe electric. And the green homes and buildings, we can change that simply by using more cleaner and more efficient energy, which almost all household appliances are, there are about 40%, according to the NRDC, that household appliances contribute contamination to the atmosphere by 40%, and that's a lot. If it's just our home appliances, and we can do that by just simply changing our appliances and going more eco-friendly. And lastly, these are references.